Hello, hello, welcome back. We are gonna continue this Let's Play series. So let's talk with Alphanaut. The Asgardians have warred with Dravanians for centuries, nay, nearly 1,000 years. In all that time, not once have their enemies breached their defenses and entered the city proper. Yet, regardless of how strong these magical wards may be, I nevertheless fear that the Asgardians are underestimating the gravity of the situation. Though it was not Midgardsormr who roared, a call to arms by one of the first brood cannot be ignored. Until such time as they choose to request our aid, however, we can do naught but observe the situation at a distance, and pray that our fears are unfounded. Yeah, hopefully everything's gonna be okay, but you know. Ere I forget, I believe Moenbryda has requested a gathering of the Scions. I assume there has been some progress concerning our efforts to combat the Asians. Pray inform her that our business with the Ishgardians is concluded for the moment. I shall be along once I've completed my communications with the Crystal Braves. Alright. All done with your talk of dragons? Wonderful, because Asians are next on the menu. Let's head into the soul, shall we? Yeah. Yes, we shall. Hi, Philomene.
Now that everything's calmed down a bit, relatively speaking I mean, I thought it might be a good time to share our progress on the weapon. I believe we're on the verge of a breakthrough.
Well, don't keep us all in suspense.
Just in case anyone's forgotten, let's start by reviewing what we already know. So, an Asian is an immortal because its soul doesn't return to the ethereal realm when its host is defeated. Instead, it flees to the place that lies between our world and the void. Therefore, the first step to permanently defeating an Asian is preventing its soul from making this journey. And if you recall, when we last gathered here, I had verified that white auracite has adequate capacity to entrap the beings, albeit only briefly.
Which left the small matter of their extermination.
Aye. To unmake an Asian soul, one must needs smite it with a concentrated burst, or blade, of purest ether. However, we wanted for both the data and the means to forge such a weapon.
Short of experimenting on an actual Asian, you see, there's no way to gauge how much ether its soul is made of. As such, we don't know what etheric density our blade needs to have in order for it to work.
So we'll just have to make the densest blade we can and hope for the best. Though that would require a lot of ether. Hang on a minute. Why didn't we think of this before? White auracite can hold an absolute heap of ether, can't it?
Please tell me you're joking. God's sakes, Ida. I feel as though I'm reliving the same scene over and over with you. How many times do you need to be told that white auracite cannot store ether for long periods? Being intangible matter, ether is given to dispersion. Only in its crystallized form is it a stable source of energy. I will test you later on this, so see to it you do not forget.
Right, yes. It's all coming back to me.
So our hopes rest on good old crystals again, do they? While they are certainly reliable, they leave something to be desired in the area of portability.
Indeed. I am reminded of the quantity of corrupted crystals required to thwart Leviathan, and the extraordinary lengths to which the Lamentsons went to transport them. What if it should prove that a similar quantity was needed to destroy an Asian's soul? Or still more?
I do not envy the poor sod who has to lug all of that around, on the off chance that an Asian appears.
That's the very problem we set out to solve, and I reckon we've found the answer. If it isn't practical to lug around the ether we need, we'll just have to draw upon another source. And the only viable source is the land.
If you mean to tap the Great River of Ether, know that it will entail considerable risk. Meddling with the currents may well induce a surge like to the one which despoiled Moenbryda.
Give me a bit more credit, will you? Why would we need to tap the river when there are veritable reservoirs jutting out all over the land? I speak of corrupted crystals. It might be that their aspect is out of balance, but a crystal's a crystal. It contains ether, and we can help ourselves to it.
While corrupted crystals are indeed abundant, there is no guarantee that they will be in close proximity at a crucial moment.
But what if we don't need them to be? What if we could tap their power from afar? A malm away, say? If we could do that, we'd have ready access to ether aplenty in almost every corner of Eorzea. I've yet to put my theories to the proof, but I've got a good feeling about this. If no one has any objections, I'd like to see where this avenue leads.
If you think it's worth your while, you have my blessing. But tell us, what are your theories? I, for one, am most eager to understand the process, however vaguely.
I thought you might say that, but no one wants to listen to boring old theories all day, do they? I know I don't. So with your permission, I'd like to try something a bit more hands-on. I've already built an etheric siphon especially for this purpose, and I've been meaning to try it out. Thing is, the profusion of corrupted crystals in Moenbryda makes it something of a high-risk testing ground. If anything goes awry with the siphon, it would be better if it didn't happen within spitting distance of quite so much ether. Ideally, I need an isolated specimen. Does anyone know where I can find one?
May I suggest northern Thanalan? There you will find corrupted crystals of middling size, standing a reasonable distance apart. Ideal for your needs, I should have thought. Oh, and if you do elect to visit the place, I should be much obliged if you would assist me in another matter while you are in the area.
Has something happened?
Movement has been observed at Castrum Meridianum. During Operation Archon, the Alliance dealt the stronghold a heavy blow. Its facilities were extensively damaged, and its garrison reduced to a fraction of its former strength. Not long after our forces withdrew, however, their ranks were replenished by reinforcements from Castrum's sentry. They now seek to rebuild, and to this end they have their sights set upon the ceruleum processing plant. Having lost the Empire's support, the 14th Legion lacks the resources to sustain itself. To them, this is a bid for survival, and they will doubtless fight like desperate men. Though I have dispatched the Crystal Braves, I fear their strength alone may not suffice to stay the Imperial assault. I would request the Scion's aid in the defensive effort.
If I didn't know better, I'd say you were trying to inveigle us into fighting your battle with the promise of shiny crystals. Well then, consider me inveigled. I won't lie, the crystals you speak of sound perfect, so the Garleans have to go. Besides, we can't afford to beat about the bush. There's no telling when the Arsians will next appear.
Thine eagerness to hurl thyself into the jaws of danger cometh as little surprise. Exercise due caution, I prithee.
Though you have become a Crystal Brave, you are yet a Scion, Alphino. We could hardly refuse you. Pray, join the Crystal Braves and lend them your support. Thangred and Popalimo shall accompany you. Ida and Yashtola, in the meantime I would have you assist Moenbryda. Scout out the crystal clusters, that the testing may commence as soon as the Garlean threat has been eliminated.
If it please you, I shall continue mine own experiments on white orosite.
Thank you, Urianger. Everyone, pray see to your preparations and depart as soon as you are able. Go well, and be safe.
Alright, let's speak with Alpha now. It would seem that events have once more conspired to rob us of rest and recuperation. Though I would wish it otherwise, I must ask that you head straight away to the processing plant. The Fourth have already been deployed to the area and await the arrival of the Scions. Oops. I skipped over the dialogue. Give me a moment as I drink some water. Meanwhile, I must rendezvous with Captain Ilbert at our headquarters in Ulda. I keep skipping! Your duties take you to Northern Thanalan, do they not? Mm-hmm. We too must say our farewells to the Rising Stones for a moment. Philomene travels to Ulda, and we shall serve as her escort. At my daughter's behest, I go to contact certain old acquaintances in the Gilded City. We are beset on all sides by civil unrest and imperial machinations. Threatened by primals and troubled by dragons, we need all the allies we can muster. Many of my old friends hold positions of power, you see, and it is my hope that they can be convinced to aid the Scion's cause. If past events have taught us anything, then we know that Eorzea must present a united front or we shall fall. How extraordinary that my little Acilia is involved in such far-reaching affairs. I am proud that I might now stand by her side not only as a mother, but also as a colleague. A colleague with influential connections, but I fear that Ulda has become a place of danger even for one so familiar with her streets. Bah! Woe betide the blackguard that has so much as glares in your direction, milady. I shall be well protected, it seems. Shall we be on our way then? You guys take care now. Off for a moment. If I sound far away, it's because my headset's off. And I also need to move my my fan. It's not even good to me. Okay. I'm sorry, I'm chewing gum. Hi there, Willard. Commander Levier sent word that you'd be coming. A veteran of your talents is most welcome. Not that I don't think we can handle the situation, mind you. I've learned a trick or two since that disaster with the Amalja. But returning to the task at hand. The Flame's reconnaissance scouts have reported Imperial soldiers assembling at Raban's push. Such a force is likely interested in only one thing, getting their hands on the resources found here at the processing plant. The Garleans could begin marching on us at any time, and I think it's time we speak with Lieutenant Edelstein to finalize our counter strategy. All right. I'm so sorry. Corporal Alderich, my soldiers yet tell tales of your deeds during Operation Archon. Would that we could sit a while and reminisce about old times. Are the Garleans on the move then? Not as such. The civilian draughtsmen have, however, come across several highly suspicious crates within the borders of the processing plant. I had my sappers take a closer look, and our worst fears were confirmed. These boxes contain powerful explosive devices of Imperial design, no less. Found inside the plant, you say, but how? We've had guards stationed around the perimeter day and night. It's likely the plant was infiltrated long before the Braves arrived. Master Thancred, have the Silence come in force then? All who could be spared, yes. Now there are likely more of these Imperial explosives about the area, so I suggest we spread out and conduct a thorough sweep of the compound. Considering the volatile nature of the Ceruleum, allowing even one such device to escape our search may lead to us enjoying an uncomfortably close view of a rather spectacular explosion. Right then, I'll pass the word to the fourth. What exactly should we do with these crates, should we find them? Bring them here to me, carefully, mind you. My sappers will render the devices harmless, as they did with the first batch we found. Very well, let's get started, shall we? Two. Dang. I just need one more. could these be? Not over here. Huh. Like, I've checked almost everywhere already. So... where's this last box? Like... wait, could it be inside? I'm gonna start looking like inside houses now. Oh my god. Where is this? Thanker, can you help me? Don't know where this item is. So confused. God, this is gonna be 18 hours of me trying to look for this stupid crate. And then failing because I suck. But you know what else is new? I wonder if Midgard Somewhere does anything. Like Nanamo, how she sits on your shoulder. I wonder if Midgard Somewhere does anything. Excuse me for a moment. Needed to fix my headset. I actually don't know if Midgard Sommer is like the type of minion that does anything. Mira Summer, you're flying right into the camera. I'm at a loss. Where haven't I tried? Can you wait? Can you climb up this? Wait, can you actually? Oh shoot. Well, okay, I didn't realize you could get up here. Oh! That's the last box! Well, yeet. I won't die, will I? Oh, okay. That was close. Should you discover any containers that appear out of place, then hand them over to me. My sappers will determine whether or not these objects are explosives, and then disarm them should they prove to be. There are 4 more of those blasted things. I'll have our engineers disassemble them at once. Fine work as always, Corporal Aldorich. The entire compound has now been scoured from top to bottom, so I should hope that's the last we've seen of these explosives. Our troubles with Castor Meridium, however, are far from over. Scouts have returned with news of movement on the front. Uh-oh. We've been keeping a close eye on that Garlean garrison, and it would seem the Imperials have finally begun to mobilize. According to the reconnaissance report that just came in, the squads seen leaving the castrum are too few in number to effectively take and hold our position. They will likely mount a swift assault, and focus on the acquisition of resources. I have, of course, also shared the report with the Crystal Braves. They decided to take to the field to meet this assault head-on. Pray report to Lieutenant Eileen, and lend your much welcome strength to the counter-offensive. Alright, so she's over there. Glad to have you with us, Atelios. As I'm sure Lieutenant Edelstein has explained, the Garleans have deployed a small force from Castor Meridium. Their main column assembles to the north near Dalamud's Talons, but we've also spied several squads, attempting to conceal themselves on the approach to the west. They wish you to rush forth and commit to battle with the main column, leaving the detached force free to raid the plant and pillage supplies. Not much of a strategy, but these are desperate men. Captain Ilbert. Greetings, Scion. I understand the commander bids you and your fellows come lend a hand to the Braves. With such mighty heroes at its disposal, the Fourth should have little trouble contending with aught the Garleans might throw at them. But even you cannot be everywhere at once. The Third was getting restless, holed up in Ulda, so I marched them out here to fill any holes in this plan's defenses, and add their numbers to your counterattack. The reinforcements are welcome. We've enough soldiers now to divide our own forces, and safely engage the enemy far beyond the walls. Aye, 'twould be best to avoid staging a battle anywhere near this much ceruleum. Let's take this fight to the Garleans. A wise course, indeed. I shudder to think of the consequences should any of these storage tanks be exposed to fire. If there are no objections, the Scions will be joining the 4th and give battle to this main column. You're with the 3rd then, Warrior of Light. Your job will be to intercept these squads hiding out in the west and prevent them from reaching the processing plant. Okay. When you're ready to proceed, report to Lieutenant Yu Hase. His scouts should have a rough idea of where the Imperials have concealed themselves by now. I did like a full 130. Pleasure to be fighting at your side once more, Scion. Our operations invariably succeed when you're around, and victories are wont to pave the road to greater coin. Now, this detached force we've been sent to eliminate has split into smaller squads, the better to conceal themselves within the terrain hereabouts, I imagine. We'll need to split ourselves up as well to cover more ground, and make sure we root out all these would-be raiders. And seeing as you're an army unto yourself, I've assigned you your own areas to scour clean of enemy soldiers. This will be a simple search and destroy. We'll rendezvous back here when the task is done. Happy hunting, Scion. Okay. Now where are these areas? Run over here. Yep. Uh-oh. Oh, okay, so I have to fight them over there. You seem grim, Scion. I take that to mean that between us, more than a few Garleans won't be making it back to the castrum. These Imperials, though, they certainly made us earn our pay. I would be a happy man if I never had to tussle with another of one of those Magitech horrors. It is time we bid this war-torn land farewell. I will contact the 4th and let Lieutenant Eileen know that the west is now clear. I would appreciate it if you would do the same when you report to Lieutenant Edelstein. Alright. Corporal Ulrich, what news of the Garleans? They're dead. Their raiding parties are no more then. Excellent. The Amajina engineers will be most relieved to hear that the plant is no longer in any immediate danger. Thank you again for your assistance. Uh-oh. You must be anxious for word of your fellows. Lieutenant Eileen has reported a sound victory over the main column, and informs me that the Scions have already turned their attention to other duties. All but one, that is, the Rogadin lady with the large axe. It would appear she has chosen to remain at the site of the battle. I know not what task I know not what task keeps her from returning to civilization, but Northern Thandalin is no place to wander alone, even for a capable sword such as her. I would certainly feel better about things if you could check in on her before you continue your way. Of course. I'll go look out, or I'll go look. Where is she? Oh, she's over there. Hey, Moenbryda. What's up?
Hold on, I won't be a second.
Take your time.
The beast seemed peckish, so I gave it a taste of my axe. I know. As Urianger never tires of reminding me. An axe ill becometh the hand of a scholar. What can I say? I like axes. To hear my mother tell it, I came into this world holding one. And it's not as if it stopped me picking up a quill, is it? I often think of the man who introduced me to the joys of learning. He's one of the reasons I decided to come to Eorzea. Him and my excruciatingly stiff childhood friend. Considering how unalike we are, it's a wonder we ever got on. The world's a strange old place, isn't it?
Sure is. Sure is.
Aye, that ought to do it.
Ooh.
So far, so good. At these concentrations, it shouldn't matter too much if something goes awry. Just enough ether to make it interesting. Did you see that? The way the crystal glowed?
Yeah, looked really, really pretty.
The siphon works, I'm happy to say. With a few refinements, it should satisfy our appetite for ether. Which just leaves the small matter of forging our blade. I'm not sure how to go about it just yet, but I swear to find a way. I'll put a blade in your hands if it's the last thing I do.
Please don't say that.
He senses me. A useful talent.
Who the fuck? Who in the world?
An Ascian. Are they onto us?
I don't know.
By your brand, I see you are an Archon of Sharlayan. Keeper of knowledge. Seeker of truth. Meddler.
I don't know what the hell's you're saying, but I don't much like your tone.
Your instincts serve you well. But come, be not unsettled on my account. That lovely brow was not made for frowns. But I waste my breath. Let me direct my words to one who understands them. We meet at last, warrior of light. I am Nabriales. And you have long been a thorn in my side. I suffered the overweening presence of La Habrea that men might host the power of gods, only for you to undo my hard work.
So was you.
Oh, bugger.
Do settle down. You must concede that I acted in self-defense. But what's this? I do not sense the blessing of light. Oh, dear. Could it be that frail Hydaelyn has forgotten her champion? This I did not foresee.
She didn't forget. It's because the stupid frickin' dragon took everything away. Or something. I don't know.
Shorn of light as you are no longer a threat. And better yet, the seal is broken.
I am still as much of a threat as I used to be. I'm gonna fight you.
Now is the time to claim the staff.
What's
With
that?
it in my grasp, I shall rise above them all and take my place at Lord Zodiac's right hand.
What's that? What?
What did that bastard want with us?
A staff.
Nabriales, he calls himself. With charm like that, I'll bet he has maidens falling at his feet, unconscious. But this staff, you say just talking about it had the bastard grinning like a brat on his name day. Must be quite a staff.
You don't think it's Louis Sua's staff, right?
Oh, gods. He means Tupsimati, Master Louis Sua's staff.
Oh, for God's sake.
Nymphylia's in danger. We have to get back to the Rising Stones.
Oh, you gotta be kidding me. Oh. Well, back to Revenant's till we go. Bigger Stormer, look at what you've done. Are you proud of yourself? You proud? Please, please do not be, please do not be a repeat of the Waking Sands. Oh, I better not see dead bodies. You're here. What's up? Master Louis Sua's staff is kept in the solar, isn't it? Quickly now. Oh. Oh no.
You two!
So, you were able to divine my intent. What now, warrior of light? Ah, but that name is no longer fitting. You have become decidedly dull, and quite incapable of barring my entry.
What do you mean?
You truly do not know? Then I suppose it is only right that I enlighten you. The blessing of light kept you and your fellow meddlers safe. It was that which prevented my kind from entering your domain. My kind, I say, though it had no power over the likes of Elidibus and La Habrea. Being of this world, they could come and go as they please, while I could only look on. But I need look no longer. Now that the seal is gone, I mean to act. Unlike the others, I am not given to waiting. I shall take that staff and bring about the next rejoining.
Rejoining? Then it was your doing. The Isle of Val, the scholars, all of it.
You will not harm her!
Moenbryda!
Moenbryda!
Why must you insist on forcing my hand? Did you learn nothing from our last meeting? Ah, but I forget. My words fall upon deaf ears.
The staff is but a broken relic, a memorial to the departed. What possible use could you have for it?
What use? You mean to say that all this time you kept the key, never knowing what it was you possessed? The staff Tupsimati, or rather the stone tablet it bears, is host to a great power. Together with the horn, it can be used to draw vast quantities of ether from its bearer's surroundings. How else do you think Louis Soir was able to invoke the power of the 12 without making them an offering of crystals? Summoning requires not only prayer, but a profusion of ether. Even a child knows that.
If I did not know before, you may be certain I do now. But above all, I know that we cannot allow this staff to fall into your hands. I will die before I let you take it.
Please don't say that, Minfilia!
Insufferable woman. I would happily end your miserable life here and now. Alas, Elidibus would never let me hear the end of it. Very well. If you will not part with the staff, I will take you too.
Minfilia! You motherfucker.
After them! Quickly! Before the rift closes!
What about you? Oh boy. Well, we'll do that in the next episode. Yeah, take care. Be safe.